While SpaceX and T-Mobile have initiated their direct-to-cell satellite service with just SMS and are planning to include voice and data later this year, in the UK, Vodafone and AST SpaceMobile have successfully tested a video call over a direct-to-cell satellite connection. Come with me. Hello, this is Mr. Mobility. It is exciting times in the world of mobile phone connectivity. And what is most exciting is that we're transiting into a phase where mobile phone subscribers can begin to enjoy continual connectivity even when outside of their carrier or mobile network operators coverage area through the use of satellite connectivity. We have had satellite phones for decades. I remember the early 2000s. Satellite phones were big, chunky, expensive. They were not something that the average mobile phone subscriber could afford. In fact, they were the exclusive preserve of the high and mighty. And to use a satellite phone, you also required a direct line of sight with the satellite. The new technology on ground, direct-to-cell technology, means that regular smartphone users like you and I, with our regular 4G smartphones, can connect to low Earth orbit satellites and use that connection for voice, telephone, and SMS whenever we are outside the coverage area of our carriers. That's what Starlink is doing with T-Mobile, and that's what Vodafone UK is doing with AST SpaceMobile. Now, a few days ago, Vodafone and AST SpaceMobile successfully made the first video call. It was a WhatsApp video call over a satellite connection on an unmodified regular 4G smartphone. It is big deal. Why is it big deal? Because while the service that Starlink and T-Mobile have launched in the United States is still only restricted to SMS, being able to demonstrate a video call over a satellite to phone connection is a big step forward. And Vodafone has stated that they are expecting to launch this service in the UK and in the rest of Europe this year. Does the service work any different from how Starlink's direct-to-cell service works? Pretty much the same thing. Regular smartphones like 4G smartphones like the one in your hands, no extra hardware, nothing else required, and AST SpaceMobile's low Earth orbit satellites. The only difference here is that Vodafone says that AST SpaceMobile uses a technique called beamforming, which directs the signal to the specific location where it wants, making it stronger, giving it more capacity to carry data, to carry heavier stuff. That gives it the reliability through which the video call was able to be made. Beamforming is already used in Wi-Fi systems around the world. It's not exactly novel, and that's what SpaceMobile uses. So it's the same technology, modified just a little bit to create the kind of capacity that makes it possible for you to conduct a video call, for you to use mobile data, do downloads, do uploads on that connection. Now, AST SpaceMobile does not have as many satellites in orbit as Starlink has yet, but they have plans to continue to expand their constellation to make it cover more areas and get the job done. Now, I have mentioned in a previous video that Starlink is not the only direct-to-cell satellite company in existence, and I mentioned AST SpaceMobile. In there, I mentioned that AST SpaceMobile has partnerships in place already with Verizon and AT&T in the United States and with Rogers Wireless in Canada. They also have a partnership with Bell in Canada. And of course, their partnership with the Vodafone Group means that they get to operate also in the UK and in Europe. Vodafone is an investor in AST SpaceMobile. They have invested considerably over time in this, and it looks like time to begin to reap the fruit. So, to our friends in the UK and in Europe, you're not left out of the direct-to-cell satellite connectivity revival or wave that's about to sweep across the world. In some months, hopefully, before the end of 2025, Vodafone will go live with this service in the UK and also extend it to other locations where it has operations. It's exciting times. You can go hiking, you can travel, you can freely move, knowing that if you are outside of Vodafone's coverage area, AST SpaceMobile's satellite connectivity will continue the job of keeping you connected with the rest of the world. You have access to emergency aid, you have access to your friends and family, you have access to your work if you're working remotely, regardless of where you are. These are exciting times. If you have any questions about direct-to-cell technology, please ask me in the comment section below. Also check through my videos. Just a few days ago, I published a series of videos explaining the technology, how it works, and what's going on around the world. Here's a recap. Vodafone and AST SpaceMobile, using direct-to-cell satellite connectivity with phones, have successfully tested a situation where a smartphone, a regular smartphone, unmodified in any way, that is outside of Vodafone's coverage area, has been able to make a video call using AST SpaceMobile's direct-to-cell satellite connectivity. The service works using existing smartphones, unmodified, no special hardware needed, just your regular phone. How does the service work? AST SpaceMobile has low Earth orbit communication satellites that beam connectivity signals down to Earth. If you are out of Vodafone's coverage area, you will be able to continue to stay in touch because your phone will connect to AST SpaceMobile's satellite connectivity. It does not require a line of sight. You can use your phone as usual. You can do whatever. You don't have to be, holding up to the sky and looking for that signal. It just works like you're using your regular phone. The service is not live yet. This has only just been a test, but the test is an important one because it's one that shows that internet data connectivity over that connection works. The Starlink T-Mobile service in the United States is still limited to SMS for now, but they are also planning to add data and voice. Thank you for watching this video. Follow my channel, turn on your notifications. I have tons of exciting stuff like this coming.